It might have taken half a decade, but Marvel Studios finally delivered a version of Mandarin that's leaving most people happy and pleased with what they got. I mean, sure, there's still quite a few people that are angry because... Hold on, let me check my notes. Not a racist caricature. Oh, okay. Now the writer of the film opens up a little bit about finally doing the Mandarin right. So this came from a recent interview with Yahoo Entertainment, where the writer of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Dave Callahan, was asked about bringing back the Mandarin, specifically how they were going to approach the whole thing, considering if we look at Iron Man 3, there was two Mandarins. There was Ben Kingsley's version of the Mandarin and the Aldrich Killian version played by Guy Pearce. Obviously, there was a whole lot of problems with bringing the Mandarin, the comic book version, the Fu Manchu version, to film. So how exactly were they going to approach this, and was this something that they were always going to address, and were they always going to bring back Kingsley's slattery? And he said that very early on, when they started talking about this film's idea of the Mandarin, that one of those things they had to do was go back to Iron Man 3. They had to bring back Ben Kingsley's version of the character because, one, he's still alive out there, two, the little short film left it on a dangling thread. So what exactly do you do? So as they continued to develop the film, they figured that they could find an interesting way to build up the new Mandarin, who he is, his history over 1,000+ years, and still keep the mystery there, while also explaining how the other 10 rings and the Mandarin and everything played a role while he was sort of dormant, not really in the public spotlight anymore. And they said that really when it came to Kingsley, he was at the center of it because they had to reflect on who the Mandarin was and how were they even going to address that name. And I honestly think most people will agree with me when I say that they did it tastefully in every regard. And I personally think that it was great the way they explained the fake 10 rings, the Mandarin, and the connective tissue there. And he says that they explored plenty of ideas, but when it came to it, there was really one solution. And it's the one we ended up getting in the film, and it's the one that everybody felt comfortable with, and we're going with, well, this is how we do it. And if you look at Wenwu, the character that is Mandarin, we see what we can do with him and how he can be presented as a not joke character. So we can play off of what he was presented like in the previous film in both ways. So they harken back to the whole businessman side, obviously, but also the mystical side of the Mandarin and the Ten Rings. And again, I think they did a fine job.